And should no one stop him, this city will be consumed by a horde of nightmare creatures.
When it comes to horror, it simulates experience like fear of motion or anxiety, and usually what makes any form of horror game so narratively scary is of course the Night of the Dark aspect. If there's any other video game that blends in with Resident Evil with Tomb Raider's sensibility, then no look further than this bloody hash-and-slash survival game, Nightmare Creatures. Nightmare Creatures takes its dark and gloomy core, which the player takes place during the 19th century back in London in the year of 1834. The streets are parade with horrifying sights of monsters and people that are mutated into creatures walking dead alive, seemingly caused by connection of an ancient culture known as the Brotherhood. This Brotherhood attempted to create their own creatures to take over the world, and destroying within followers who tried to stop them. A man called Adam Crowley led to be Cole, and the only two protagonists can stop him, Natalia and Ignatius. The gameplay is what you expect out of any beat-em-up games, which can be extremely difficult at times, even on the easiest setting. A health bar and an energy meter are effectively used enough strategy to survive in combat, so replenishing as much as possible is the key role to complete this solid storyline. The thing that stands out to me is the graphics, which is used by 3D technology looking as sin in today's standards. I'm not saying that the graphics are bad, it just feels more of a generic fighting game. The atmospheric overall is spectacular, bundled with transparent fog, rats crawling everywhere, flickering lighting and dynamics, and moisture of houses making it uninviting. Nightmare Creatures is very different and surreal, yet the colors look a bit washed and dreadfully aesthetic. Despite the limited technology, the monsters look very horrifying that spawns within demon dogs, living gargoyle statues, and giant spiders, to just name a few. These enemies must be destroyed by your character of your choice, which can be eliminated by learning types of combo attacks to quickly deal more damage, and mashing the buttons adds more variety. There are also tools that can be obtained, including special weapons, like pistols, powerful shells, and dynamites can be used in battle. The capability of what Nightmare Creatures is being hard to say, and really could have been something different since this game came out in 1997. The music is overall great, pitching it perfectly in every scene that is just as eerie as the game looks. The game feels immersive, adding in creepy sound effects that gives a setting as heavier and detailed in every corner, which this sparks the experience as a whole. I think the most annoying problem in all older games is mostly the camera. But it is most common in most 3D platforms. It works well when you fight enemies, but when you apply movement, the camera starts to struggle around sometimes. For one thing for sure that Nightmare Creatures would have had fixed in the 6th generation of video games when the camera controls were situated. There is something oddly satisfying about this mechanic and structure, essentially adding that scary nostalgia. There's also a cheat mode which enriches the experience and delivers a dose of nostalgia, which is the part that I miss the most in retro video games. Nightmare Creatures does have its flaw, but it's hell of a fun to play, exciting, and a thrill ride to remember. I'm giving this game a responsive score of 7 out of 10.